You know what scares me more than flying over the mountains at night with the fuel selector stuck to one side and complete electrical failure? Landing at a Class Bravo airport. Just kidding. As pilots, our impression of Bravo Airspace is that it's the busiest airspace for the biggest jets and has the fastest talking controllers around. But landing and departing from a Class Bravo airport is easier than you think as long as you're prepared. So today we're going to fly in and out of the Class Bravo airspace of Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport to show you what it's like. Now real quick, I'm going to run down a list of things that you should know about Class Bravo airspace before we jump into the flight. For more detailed information on airspace, check out our super cool video that we made on it where we use Minecraft to show you what it actually looks like. Link for that down in the description. So Class Bravo airspace is huge. It generally extends to 10,000 feet MSL vertically and 30 miles horizontally from the airport. But it's cut up into different sections and shelves that resemble an upside down wedding cake. Its shape really depends on the airport's needs and what's going on in the area. Equipment-wise, you'll need a two-way radio, Mode C transponder with altitude reporting, and ADS-B out. To enter, you'll need ATC clearance, which means you need to hear the words "cleared into the Bravo" before entering the airspace. To depart, you'll need a clearance again, which we'll get into during the flying portion of the video. Now in preparation, make sure to check out the terminal area chart. Look at the airport diagram and dig into the airport's information. You can even call the tower to ask about busy flight times and the best location for Bravo entry. Realize too that some Bravo airports have landing fees or the FBO has ramp fees for parking. Guys, just do your homework so you know what you're getting into first so that the flight will go as smoothly as possible. Last, Bravo airspace can have a lot of frequencies. Approach, departure, towers, and yes, that's towers with an S, ground, and clearance delivery. Make sure you know which ones you'll need to fly in and out, but be prepared to switch between them, even ones you didn't know existed. Anyways, let's get into the flying. Today we'll be flying with my buddy Joe Coraggio of Ramp Rat Racing in his beautiful Lancer Legacy. We wanted to give him a huge shout out for helping us with this video, so make sure to check him and his racing adventures out down in the description. Now our journey starts north of Sky Harbor Airport, where we pick up the ATC report so we can make our initial call to Phoenix Approach.
Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport information kilo.
Phoenix Approach Experimental Lancer 385 Alpha Sierra inbound for landing at Cutter with information kilo.
5 Alpha Sierra Squawk 0331.
Squawking 0331, 5 Alpha Sierra.
Now the first response back to us is a squawk code for the transponder, so they can identify us and direct us through their airspace. Once entered, they were able to see us on their screen and give us further instructions.
November 35 Alpha Sierra, radar contact, sky ramp 2 miles to the west, maintain VFR, and for flight heading 200, clear to enter the Phoenix Bravo airspace.
Clear to enter Phoenix Bravo airspace, flying VFR, heading 200, 385 Alpha Sierra.
When we made this call, we were about 20 miles out, which is good because we're in a fast airplane, but this gives air traffic control time to make room for us. A few important things that happened here. First off, they gave us instructions to start guiding us through their airspace by giving us a direction to fly. Second, and probably the most important, we were cleared into the Bravo. I already said this, but do not enter the Bravo airspace unless you're cleared to do so. Also, contacting them is no different than Class D or C airports. Just make sure that you give them all the information they need to know up front, which helps you take up less of their radio time. With the initial contact out of the way, now we just have to listen for our call sign and confirm and comply to any new instructions that are given to us. And it's really, really important that we comply. With all the fast-moving traffic in the vicinity, any deviation on our part could have serious consequences. Moving on.
35 Alpha Sierra, maintain 4,500, and they know you're parking on the south, so we're just going to run you north of the airport to avoid congestion over the top.
5 Alpha Sierra.
Just like we were asked, we're going to maintain 4,500 feet until we're told that we can change. But realize not all of your calls will be directions and altitude restrictions. You're going to be handed off to other controllers too.
Number 35 Alpha Sierra, contact Phoenix Approach 128.65.
Contacting 12865, experimental 385 Alpha Sierra, thank you.
Now this handoff means we need to check in with our next controller, which still happens to be Phoenix Approach, but it covers a different sector of airspace than the one we initially contacted. But all we need to do is let them know that we're on frequency and give them our altitude and direction of flight.
Phoenix approach, experimental Lancer 385 Alpha Sierra, checking in 4,500, heading 193.
Experimental 385 Alpha Sierra, Phoenix approach, expect a left base entry for runway 7 right.
Left base for runway 7 right, 5 Alpha Sierra, thank you.
Since we were closer to the airport, we were given our runway assignment when we checked in, and it was just a few minutes later that we were advised to join a 2-mile left base for our assigned runway.
All right, so 5 Alpha Sierra, join the 2-mile left base to final, make straight to runway 7 right.
2-mile left base for 7 right, 5 Alpha Sierra. Can we get lower?
5 Alpha Sierra, you can delete the altitude restriction.
Delete the altitudes, 5 Alpha Sierra.
Now, we not only confirmed our transmission, but had a request of our own to start descending. Realized that Bravo controllers are usually dealing with aircraft on an IFR flight plan that are following a published approach, which includes descent instructions. Because of that, they may miss deleting our altitude restriction for a VFR flight to come in and land. No big deal, just make sure that you ask them before you make a change to your assigned altitude or direction. Now after that, we were handed off to another controller, this time Tower.
385 Alpha Sierra, contact Tower 120.9, good day.
Contacting Tower, 5 Alpha Sierra. Phoenix Tower, experimental Lancer 385 Alpha Sierra, left base, runway 7 right.
November 385 Alpha Sierra, Phoenix Tower, caution wake turbulence, large aircraft departing the parallel, wind 0405, runway 7 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 7 right, 385 Alpha Sierra.
With this check-in, we were given our landing clearance, and they also warned us about winds and other aircraft on parallel runways. After our landing, we were given one last instruction from Tower, and all we had to do was confirm and comply.
November 5 Alpha Sierra, turn right, taxi hotel to the ramp, monitor ground on the way in, safe parking.
Hotel to the ramp, monitor ground, cutter, 5 Alpha Sierra, good day.
Then we taxied to one of Phoenix Sky Harbor's FBO, Qatar Aviation, who graciously let us use their ramp to pick up the next leg of our journey. Huge thanks to Qatar for helping us out with this video, and if you guys ever find yourself landing at Phoenix Sky Harbor, make sure to check out their top-notch services. Now, before we get started on departing a Bravo airport, you guys may have noticed that I didn't respond to all of the calls. Joe helped out on a few of them, and that's because I was a little overwhelmed with everything that was going on. But you know what would have helped me out a little bit more is if I had prepared a bit more with today's sponsor, Plain English. They have an entire section on airspace entry, handoffs, and more that will make sure you sound like you know what you're doing. Plain English really is the best way to take control of the comm, so make sure to use our discount code when you sign up to save a little on your subscription. But now it's time to depart Phoenix Sky Harbor, which starts with picking up the ATA support again.
15510.
Departing Class Bravo and Charlie requires getting a clearance first, and this is my first time actually picking up a clearance. Granted, I practiced with Plain English.
Phoenix clearance, experimental Lancer 385 Alpha Sierra at Qatar, VFR departure southeast to Tucson with Kilo.
Lancer 985 Alpha Sierra, thanks for your patience. You're cleared out of Bravo airspace on departure, fly runway heading. Maintain VFR at or below 4,500. Departure frequency will be 123.7 and squawk 4340.
Clear out of Bravo airspace, flying runway heading on departure. Altitude 4,500, frequency 123.7, squawking 4340, 5 Alpha Sierra.
Sierra 5 Alpha Sierra, read back correct information. Lima is current.
Roger, we'll pick that up. 5 Alpha Sierra.
If you haven't picked up a clearance before, it consists of where you're cleared to, the route to use, the altitudes to fly at, departure frequencies, and what transponder code to squawk. All this has to be read back correctly prior to contacting ground control for your taxi, which is what comes next, where you only have to tell them that you're ready to go and where you're at.
Phoenix ground experimental Lancer 385 Alpha Sierra, ready for taxi at Qatar.
And Lancer 5 Alpha Sierra, runway 7 right, taxi via hotel. The Gulfstream will hold for you.
Roger, taxiing via hotel, runway 7 right, 385 Alpha Sierra.
Now, departing Bravo airports is just like departing any other towered airport. Just let air traffic control know that you're ready for departure.
Phoenix Tower, experimental Lancer 385 Alpha Sierra, holding short, 7 right, ready for departure.
Lancer 985 Alpha Sierra, Phoenix Tower, hold short of 385 Sierra, hold short of runway 7 right.
Holding short, runway 7 right, 385 Alpha Sierra.
Get your departure clearance.
Lancer 5 Alpha Sierra, Wind 010 at 4, runway 7 right to 0.
Clear for takeoff, runway 7 right, 5 Alpha Sierra.
Take off.
Positive rate, here is coming up.
And follow any additional instructions given to you.
Land here 5 Alpha Sierra, turn right heading 160.
Turning right, heading 160, 5 Alpha Sierra.
Now, depending on your flight, one of two things will happen once you leave the Bravo airspace. They may have you keep your transponder code and put you on flight following to your next destination. Or they could tell you to squawk VFR and terminate radar services. If you want one or the other, just speak up and they'll be happy to help. Alright, that's really it for getting in and out of Class Bravo airspace. And now there are going to be some nuances at different airports for various reasons, so again, make sure that you're prepared and don't be afraid to ask air traffic control to say again if you need them to. It's really all about safety. Now, here are my last couple bits of advice. Be patient. Like we said in the beginning, Class Bravo airspace is busy and you may not get a reply to your radio call right away, like this.
Squawking 0331, 5 Alpha Sierra.
95 Bravo, November 3, 5 Alpha Sierra, radar contact.
We often had to wait for responses to our radio calls, and we ended up editing this video for time. But don't be afraid of Bravo airspace. The controllers are there to help you and will guide you through the process. Anyways, your engagement on this video helps us so much, so go ahead and throw this video a like and leave a comment. Ways to support us are found down in the description, and as always, share aviation wherever you can, and we'll see you in the next one.